Good morning, 10 minutes past 9. Lost Days is the name of a song written by 22-year-old Henry Maybury from Cruckton near Shrewsbury. Now, the song itself is about his older brother Tom and his addiction to alcohol. The terribly sad part of the story, of course, is that Tom died last year. But the amazing part is that the song and its video has had more than 1 million hits now on YouTube. Henry and his mum Sally are on the way to a conference in Birmingham where Henry's going to be performing, but they're both, in the studio with me this morning. Hello.
Hiya, how you doing?
First of all, before we talk, let's hear a bit of the song, if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it.
Lost days in a word. It's hard to see you out away like this. Not saying you should, but it's hard to look at you, so please quit. When it's gone, you wanna carry on, you wanna take a sip, but you're on another drip. Another day you're calling me again, sure enough, why I want you to stay. You're not alone. You're always on the phone. We ask you what's wrong. Thinking where have you gone? Swerving through the waves. You need to find another day, but it's just too late.
That is stunning, young man. Really
Thank you
is.
very much, thank you.
Who's the lady singing in the background then?
It's a friend of mine called Beth Staten. She's actually from Chester, and I met her at university
Right.
whilst I was studying at Chichester doing music, and she does musical theatre, and we sort of crossed paths, and we just basically started singing together, and yeah, just sort of I asked her to
Beautiful
come and do some harmonies for me, and I said, look, I want to do an acoustic version of Lost Days, which I'm actually releasing a short video later next week, and hopefully we'll continue singing with each other. So
Because the video that is on YouTube, that's full production,
yeah,
and everything, isn't it?
that's a full band. Basically, the story behind that, I actually recorded that just in a practice room at university. It wasn't professionally done. It wasn't like I recorded at Abbey Road Studios or something. It was literally just in a practice room at uni. And I think the great
Well, it
thing
just shows
about
you what you can achieve then, doesn't it?
yeah, exactly. I think as well. It shows sort of the realness and emotion behind it as well. You know, there's no it's not like it's been completely done up, and that's what I wanted it to. You know, I wanted that to come across in the video. I wanted it to be real, and you know, so that's why I'm kind of happy with that, really. So
Talk more about the video in a minute. Let's just talk about your brother, because you lost him last year. How long had he been drinking for? That you were aware of?
yeah, he'd been struggling with addiction for probably around 10 years, wasn't it, Mum?
Yeah, it's probably around about 10 years.
And
yeah.
we probably knew about it for about 8.
Because the video depicts the story, doesn't it, really?
Yeah,
It does, yes, and he was drinking very heavily. I mean, for the last sort of 7 or 8 years, he was drinking very heavily.
And you
that's
must feel very helpless as a family, because there's nothing you can do.
No, well, you try. You do try. I mean, you say there's
Obviously,
nothing you can do.
yeah.
You try everything. I mean, I tried to get him to rehab, but at the end of the day, the addict has to help themselves. I mean, he knew he was an alcoholic, and he used to say, I'm an alcoholic, and he used to say, help me. But he had to help himself as well.
This was, what, last year?
yeah, February 22nd, 2013.
So it's still very raw for you
Yes,
two, isn't it?
it
Yeah.
is.
But you've got
It
the
is.
anniversary coming up.
We
as well.
have the birthday next weekend, October the
Oh.
11th. He would have been 31.
And so you've got to go through all of the
Yes.
anniversaries,
Yeah.
the birthdays,
It's going to
and
be a tough
Christmases. Yeah, Christmas is going to be a tough
Yeah.
one for you, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
So what point did you write the song then, Henry?
I actually wrote the song before he died, because basically I saw what alcohol was doing to him, and I was sitting in my room one night and just wrote it. And then after he passed away, obviously it was a horrible couple of months for all of us, but I literally just I was sat in my bedroom once again, and I was looking through my songbook, and I came across Lost Days, and I literally just thought to myself, I've got to do something about this. I've got to use it for the good. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to raise as much money for addiction charities globally through the song. 100% of proceeds are going to charity, and I hope that I can, with the music video, that I can just raise awareness. I really want people to know the potential dangers of alcohol addiction. I'm not saying that going out for a couple of drinks on a Saturday night is bad. I'm just saying that you have to be careful, and that's what I'm trying to do, is just raise awareness through combine my talent with trying to help people, really. And that's what I want to do. That's I've got lots of sort of music in the pipeline. I'm releasing a video in January, which has got another big message, not to do with alcohol addiction, to do with something else. And when I released my album in 2015, I'm hoping that people, pick up on lots of messages in my music, because that's what I want to do at the end of the day.
Well, you studied music, isn't it? So
yeah,
I mean, it's kind of ironic the way it's gone.
Yeah, but I just want it to be more than that. I don't just want to be a singer-songwriter. I've always wanted to be more than that. I've always wanted to be, yes, write songs and perform, but
What do you mean more than that then?
I want my music to help people. I want it to be used for the good. I want it to be,
Well, you want to mean something.
Yeah, I really want it to touch people. For me, when I released Lost Days, the best feedback that I had was kind of like friends and coming back to me through Facebook and saying, God, it really makes you think, and it really, and the other thing as well, people sort of getting in contact with me who've been going through the same thing, and they were saying to me, thank you so much for doing that. It's really inspirational to see someone actually trying to, raise awareness through your music and, help people.
As hard as this is, Sally,
Yeah.
they say there's nothing worse than losing a child. Has it slightly helped with what he's doing?
Yes, well, it's certainly sent me in a completely different direction, and doing something that I've never done before. And I suppose I've got one son that I'm really proud of, and unfortunately, at the expense of having lost my firstborn.
But in a way, I mean, I was trying to look at the positive. There's some good coming out of it,
There's
isn't
a
there?
lot of good coming out of it. I really did not think I would be here today heading up a committee of people who are, we've got somebody from America, he's Professor John.
This is what you're doing in Birmingham.
This is what I'm doing. Well, we're going to Birmingham to Drug Fam, which is bereaved families, so people who've lost somebody through drugs or alcohol. And so that's where Henry's going to be speaking today. And so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to feel about that. It's going to be quite twitchy, meeting other people in the same...
Yeah. But the committee that we set up, it's actually so every penny that we raise through Lost Days, the whole idea of the committee is that we've got addiction world leaders.
Yeah.
So whatever money we raise, they choose where the money will go to, because they know where it will,
It'll
help
have
the most, most effect.
And it will be sort of things like, there's a rehab that Henry's quite keen to, that's run through, it's
run through the
charities.
government.
It sort of has to raise money. So, it'd be nice to help them. But then I was reading an article the other day in a magazine called Addiction, and there was somebody simply giving some money for sleeping bags, because there are people who are obviously sleeping on the street, who are alcoholics, who... so it was just something very simple like that as well. So not the big... It may not just be the big charities. And the other one, I mean, I have to say... When Tom was at his worst, the ambulance people in Shropeshire at the RSH were fantastic. The amount of times that they were called out and they came, they attended Tom, because he was epileptic anyway, which of course the alcohol and the epilepsy does not go together well. So they were fantastic. They were brilliant, as were the staff at the end. Actually, at the end of Tom's life, they were brilliant as well.
Tell me about this video, because it features Tom's dog, doesn't it?
Yeah, Totty. We just basically, when we were writing the script together, me and my best mate Matthew Steggles, we just decided that it'd be great to have that sort of that personal element in there. And Totty, she was great actually.
You wear her out completely, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say though, the cast, they were absolutely brilliant.
Because they're all actors, aren't they?
Yeah, and what we did, we took blankets with us. We made sure that every time someone was kind of not involved in the scene, they would be with Totty looking after her with blankets on her.
She's very
And yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. But that's, I think, because the other thing as well, that one of the scenes as well is actually where Tom used to live. And the reason why I chose to do that, I had to literally put my emotions aside. But I know that, because we went off no budget, and the actors were very lucky, they were very talented. But I knew if an actor was going into an environment which is real, it's easier for them to get into character.
Yeah, I understand.
And, when they found out that, this is where Tom lived, in one of the scenes, the lead role, Mike, was just, he was just saying, wow. He said this is, and he was, just see the dedication. He was just kind of like, right, I'm going to deliver. And, he was going outside, he was really making sure he was getting into character. It's just
because it was shot in Shropshire, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We a couple of scenes were, where was it, Minsterley, isn't it?
Yes, it's
and then we went up to Wrexham, which is the woodland bit as well. So yeah,
It's all a local,
local
video.
production.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to let you go. Otherwise, I'd keep you here for another hour. And I think people might like to hear a little bit more of your song.
No, thank you very much for having me. And I mean, if I can just ask for everyone's support. If they can just simply check out henrymaybury.com. The video comes straight up, and if you
Does
can
it?
just
It's on there, is it?
Yeah, it literally, as you go on henrymaybury.com, the video starts playing.
And you can download it on iTunes.
Yeah, you can download
Get
it.
you.
All the options.
Yes. Money for
and
charities, please.
It's just been so. I've got to thank everyone's support, and also the celebrities that were supporting as well. Lorraine Kelly, John Chalice, a couple of people from EastEnders and Coronation Street. Yeah, and I've got to thank them as well, because they're really helping the cause to raise awareness. And if everyone can get behind a local boy, as it were, and just help support, that would be absolutely brilliant. So thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's lovely to meet you both. Thank you so much for coming in. Henry and Sally Maybury, and check out his website again, which is
henrymaybury.com.
Lost Days is also on YouTube, and you can download it from iTunes. And here is the rest of the song.
This will be good, but it's not that long till the next one. Not saying you share, but it's not that hard to circle your sun. When it's gone, you wanna carry on, you wanna take a sip of your and on another drip. Not the day you're gonna need it, showing us why I want you to stay. You're not alone. You're always something for. We ask you what's wrong. Think where have you gone? Swerving through the waves. You live to fight another day, but it's just too late. All we can do is pray.
Stunning. That's Lost Days, Henry Maybury on BBC Radio Shropshire. It's Breakfast with Claire, 25 minutes past 9.